The suppliers always look like Hastert. Then you've got kind of active Renfields that are the middlemen that produce the child snuff films, and they look like the guy that just got caught murdering little girls and little boys and torturing them to death. And the Australian government wasn't going to prosecute him, so he got caught in the Philippines. King of the pedophiles is what I called him. Eyes wide shut ceremonies with these women where they rape and torture little girls, where they beg for mommy and then they strangle them. And stuff I'm not going to even mention on air. You look at him, he looks just like Jimmy Savile. So there's like 3 or 4 types. And at the top, it's a Dracula type. And they've got a certain look in their eye and a certain affectation of how they operate. It's a spirit. And it's like a program. It's like a spiritual program. And I've learned to recognize it now in certain people. You know, and I am gushing about Trump because my gut told me he was good. And then everything he's been doing has been very truthful, very honest, except for bombing Syria and keeping troops in Afghanistan. And on that front, he's now got a ceasefire. And I was told, no, he's going to build up to make him come to the table and then actually give him some good deals per tribe and then pull out. And then now the word is that's where this is going. We'll see. And then the Syria thing, I understand they were going to make it look like he was involved in a chemical attack if he didn't strike him. And it becomes like a white false flag, I guess they'd call it. But I still don't like it. But he's not a dictator, and I don't want him to be a dictator either. But people complaining about Trump and saying it's like Hitler and Auschwitz. But let's play that Hayden clip. Then I'll play this Drudge clip. It's just panic. You know, I said yesterday, Hayden is scared. He came on later in the day and said, I'm scared. But see, what they do is they'll take something true and then twist it. I've watched Hayden. Oh, and he's a really bad guy. Head of the NSA and CIA. I've watched that slime ball really screw this country up. And now all his cohorts have been caught in illegal activity against Trump, so he's the last one they're trotting up. And he lists the co-conspirators in this clip we're about to play. And then he says, I'm scared. Because Trump's undoing all the things we've done. You mean like putting an unelected EU in that exempts itself from taxes? Oh, you mean like shipping in 10 million military-aged men into Europe to rape, murder, and kill everybody? Oh, you mean like letting all these countries have 50, 60, 70, 100, 200, 300% tariffs on us? Because you weird globalists, the average East Coast person is great. The average West Coast person, I love them all. But let me tell you, in the elites of New York and LA and San Francisco and Portland and Seattle, they hate black people, white people, Hispanic people, everybody. They're elitist. And they hate flyover country, and they hate farmers, and they hate ranchers, and they hate anybody they don't control. They're just maniac psychos who want full power. And history shows that's the types that tend to get in control during collapse periods. Well, Trump's like, hey, let's just not do the collapse period because the globalists wanted an austerity period after long collapse to train us all to accept the new social engineering. And you see how horrible the social engineering is. They're still going on with the plan even though Trump's in. So you got 2 competing plans. But at least our plan has gone from nowhere to pole position in 2 years globally. Well, yeah, we're promoting prosperity, space travel, life extension, real freedom. You want to have sex change? Good, go chop it off. I'm not paying for it. And it's not because I can't handle how delicate it is that, you know, you're some obese 300-pound man that wants to cut his genitals off. It's disgusting. You need to be in a mental institution. But I'm a libertarian. Long as you don't hurt somebody else, blow that head off if you want. I'm not saying do it. But before you try to teach my kid to cut their genitals off to join your sick cult, get out of the way. You know the fetishes they've got? I'm going to do a report on this soon. They've got school teachers and academics all over newspapers coming out. And don't show it. I'm not ready to do it yet. So I'm going to show a bunch of them together with weird stuff about sex with kids in the background. But you got to blow up the images. And it's unbelievable. It sent chills down my spine when I was in Hawaii, and it was sent to me by a researcher. And it says, I like pizza all over the place. And you just look at these people, and it's just like, ugh. So you have to understand, it's a psychic vampire. It wants to ruin the innocence of children. And you're like, well, it doesn't make sense. Why? It's spiritual. They are like succubus in old legend that sit on your chest and steal your breath at night. You know, that's an old wives' tale. Or, you know, cat steal your breath. You know, and they'd be making biscuits on your chest. The cat really thinks you're its mama, and it's the way it, you know, shows affection. So it thinks it's pumping milk out. But old-timers thought, oh, look, the cat's on your chest, stealing your breath. It's not like that. It's whatever this psychic thing is, though, attracted to the innocence of children and wants to dominate them, control them, ruin them, kill them. But it's a continuum. There's always like these weird blob, Renfield-looking guys that look like Dennis Hastert. The suppliers always look like Hastert. Then you've got kind of active Renfields that are the middlemen that produce the child snuff films, and they look like the guy that just got caught murdering little girls and little boys and torturing them to death. And the Australian government wasn't going to prosecute him, so he got caught in the Philippines. King of the pedophiles is what I called him. Eyes wide shut ceremonies with these women where they rape and torture little girls, where they beg for mommy and then they strangle them. And stuff I'm not going to even mention on air. You look at him, he looks just like Jimmy Savile. So there's like 3 or 4 types. And at the top, it's a Dracula type. And they've got a certain look in their eye and a certain affectation of how they operate. It's a spirit. And it's like a program. It's like a spiritual program. And I've learned to recognize it now in certain people. In royal families, there's one that's got the look that is one of our prominent patriot leaders now that's been shoved on us. And when I finally learned to just go with that, then it's like boom, and you look into it, and it's exactly that. It's like they've got a look, folks. I mean, it's like police are driving down the road, and they go, look at this guy. They go over, and the guy's got stolen loot and weapons and, just murdered some old lady. It's like a craziness. You can tell some guy that's just into being evil and likes to do bad. He's kind of got a spirit about him. It's the same thing. You learn these types because the spirit in them manifests as a look. That's why I act evil sometimes and behave like them just to show you what they look like. And the media uses that against me because I can kind of pick it up and do it. I can't really do the Savile. Pull up the guy in the Philippines, convicted of torturing and murdering little girls. I forget his name, Sully. And you look at him, he looks just, pull him up. In his frontal shots, he has the exact leering demon look and laughing about it in court. Peter Gerald Scully. And he looks just like Savile. And he's the intermediate level to full Dracula. Full Dracula. And you look at Prince Philip, pull up Prince Philip, please. You're talking full Dracula. And, of course, he is related to Dracula. He is a direct line of Vlad the Impaler. His son now lives in Dracula Castle in Romania. About 6 months out of the year. They don't see Charles much anymore. He has special relationships with the local orphanages. You look into it. It's all open source. But Philip is full Drac. And when I say that, I don't mean he's a reptoid from Planet Pop-Tart. I'm telling you, his son, oh, my God, it's unbelievable. That do not show. Was that mainstream TV covering Daisy's destruction? Good God. I just can't handle it anymore. 60 minutes. Okay, we can show it. Just I want to make sure it's not anything online. I want to explain something to the vampires. You like to hurt little kids? I don't like hurting anybody, not even like I stepped on a gecko. It hadn't happened in like 15 years. I was in Hawaii, a little baby gecko, and I stepped on him. And I felt really sad, little gecko. Went in like 5 a.m. to take a, little pee-pee. And there it was. Pull up the new articles about him, the direct line of Dracula. They're not even a German royal family. They are a Romanian, Hungarian bloodline of the house of Dracula. That's the dragon. And they are the real live Dracula. And, of course, you know what they tell you in old England and old France, everywhere. They said, don't get near the castles at night. And they've dug up so many dead kids on the grounds of their palaces over there. And Prince Philip's best friends with Jimmy Savile, who had torture chambers of little girls. And he ran a necrophilia society at the local hospitals where they went and had sex with the dead little girls. And he would then deliver the little girls, all the different specialties. I remember hearing about this before it ever came out in the news. One particular prime minister, he liked little girls, but he just liked to see their throats slit. He didn't even, he would relieve himself while watching a little girl. They'd lay plastic out, and they'd walk the little, about 7-year-old girl was his favorite. He liked them with black hair and blue eyes. He'd pay a lot for those. And then he would say, your mommy's not going to help you. No one's coming. Let them cry for a little while and beg. And then he'd say, do it. And they'd let them bleed out. And he would just go, Lucifer, I love you so much. And, just like Tony Blair said, he falls down in the morning in a newspaper and is possessed by the spirit of light. And he flops around uncontrollably. Just remember the next time you're reading in Vice or Salon or the New York Times that pedophilia is not bad, that they're actually good people, that the ones you hear about are the procurers of the kids. At the bottom of the rabbit hole is the torture and murder of them. And you see that more and more in the news, thanks to Trump and others moving against it, because Australia, the U.S., and others would not prosecute the actual Satanism stuff. But remember, Prince Philip says he wants to come back as a deadly virus to kill 80% of the world's population. He wrote that in the foreword to a book and then was quoted again in the Audubon Society. And then his son's best friend was Jimmy Savile, the child kidnapper and torturer. And they are from the direct line of the House of the Dragon. And in Romanian or Hungarian, that means the dragon. The good old dragon is in charge. I thought George killed the dragon. No, you've got the dragon in the house. So they ought to just change it from the unicorn and the lion over there in the UK to the old dragon. The old dragon. Now, that said, with these people walking around above ground in front of us, I said I don't want to hurt a fly, except people that hurt children and innocents. Then I have a rage and a great strength. And you look at the satisfied look in the people that torture little girls, sometimes for months, little boys, while they beg for mommy. They call it using them up. They transfer the energy, they believe. And they're always into devil worship, but the media always leaves that out. But I've had top psychiatrist on. Who's the lady? I want to get her back on. She's the most famous psychiatrist. She's the lady that interviews all the serial killers. She said, no, you're right. I put that in my books, Alex. It just never gets on the news, that they all believe that they're possessed and that the devil does this, but they never feel good except if they're hurting somebody. So a lot of your abortion doctors are Satanists. And this has come out. So this is all about understanding the energy, like, Duracell inside or Energizer. Energizes the bunny. You need to understand what's inside these folks. And you've got more and more publications, just telling you need to accept it. And of course, the UN accepts NAMBLA and says that down to age 5, children should have their own rights to have vaccines, to take drugs, whatever. And so the school teaches you that you want to, date a man or a woman when you're 5 years old, that they can come with a box of chocolates and flowers and tell your parents, I don't care if you don't want your 6-year-old daughter to go out with me, a 300-pound, pedophile. You're going to let her go with me. And you're like, well, she'll never do that. Oh, once she's indoctrinated at school and taught all about it, that's how that works, ladies and gentlemen. So this is already going on. They're coming for you and your family. They're coming for you and your children. So I thought I'd let you know why they want censorship while this is happening. Paul Washington's going to take over. He's got the latest on Article 13 and Article 11 that end the internet as we know it and extends here into the United States. And the fact that finally the left is hearing the alarm and getting upset. So there's some big moves and a lot of big news coming up on the War Room today as well. Infowars.com, newswars.com. They're trying to block us. I didn't even plug last hour. Or maybe I did. I don't remember. No, I guess, no, I did. No, it was the hour before that with Pasobic. I have not done a new special. That's why it's still up there. Free shipping on all the best-selling supplements. 50% off on X2, Brain Force. And that's not a good thing because they're close to selling out. It'll be months in some cases till some of these products come back in. And I'll have new specials tomorrow on some new products we've got that are excellent. But this has been a big special. So take advantage of the fact that I have not changed the special, but it will happen because as soon as I'm off the air in 34 seconds, I will march in there and we will get the new promos and stuff ready, and you'll see those new ads tomorrow. But you cannot underestimate just how evil the globalists are. We had a flashback on Drudge being right. Drudge warns EU link ban could kill Drudge report internet freedom. And now 2.5 years later, it's here. Go see Drudge, warning you from his high-level government sources, and now it all coming true. Will you stand for freedom, or will you let the satanic global armies of the dragon silence you before they have their way with you? We'll be back with Paul Watson from London.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
He goes to jail. He goes to jail. Lock him up.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Staying healthy on the go is just as important as staying healthy at home. But sometimes supplements don't work fast enough. That's why InfoWars Life has created a powerful new addition to the Super Blue line, Super Blue Silver Immune Gargle. Available in 1 ounce, 3.5 ounce, and 16 ounce bottles, Immune Gargle is perfect for the bathroom, kitchen, or wherever you go. The incredible new purifying formula is dentist recommended for daily use whenever you feel like you need to stay clean. As a powerful hand purifier or oral cleansing formula, just a small spray will help you stay clean when you feel surrounded by toxins. With powerful yet simple ingredients, Immune Gargle features Silver Sol Nano Silver for a powerful cleansing alternative. With Super Blue Silver Immune Gargle, staying toxin-free is easy and affordable. Help stop the spread of toxins and stay healthy with Super Blue Silver Immune Gargle. Only available at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.